I was just say the special prosecutor is say you who the way home. Say one will be easy to say no. As the office no or the adani personal agenda be personal manhunt to be a was said I am very selective be uncophobia and a woody or mention. I also surprised you said friend time I take that office special me I've always been of the view said this office is one of the useless office ever just say MP buying it to me the buy because from my time do time basically say that paying so you say that any kind of productivity be any kind of accountability be this office or the special prosecutor not at me here now. I was now near man why sika allocated to that office in the budget now her teachers for the nurses for mugu feel munye adwumanye yetimi kwesi ketwetwe die koma office bi abusua ye hu adwuma bi a wo ye na ne ekoda sorry ya so we invite Paul Adom Ochere say sikasɛm bi the time at the airport no abusua kae ko yom ko fa Christmas trees nsɛm bi ɔmakɔ hang Christmas tree at a very huge inflated price bi bɛgɛ investigation a nkosiaga say the abusua yakɔfa asɛm foforɔ asan de aba abɛsɔ ne kɔn a ne Adom Ochere aba bɛ reply kisi agyabe special prosecutor invite na ɔde ama no sɛ ɔmmra na ɔmtoto na no ɛmfa some any corruption nneɛma bi a ɛkɔɔ so brɛ na ɔyɛ a board member na abusua and then ɔba bɛ respond no ɔkyerɛ mu ade nti a papa yi ɛyɛ saa nyinaa ne kaa ɔkɔkaa n'asɛm ne exposes a series of exposes a wayɛ about the special prosecutor because he's misusing the state funds. Sika ɛwɔ sɛ yɛsɛ wɔde akɔtɔ car bulletproof car no kyerɛ sɛ special prosecutor no sɛ ne car wɔ dam kyerɛ sɛ bulletproof ɛsen dɔndɔma no mu president koraa ɛsɛn ne deɛ abusua kyerɛ sɛ nneɛma a ɛkɔ so misusing of the state fund of by this very office na Adom Ochere kɔka ho asɛm no ne nam so abusua ne invite na ne waba bɛkyerɛkyerɛ nsɛm mu ne secret message bi a ne nsa akeka kyerɛ ne ɛpɔ a ne nsɛm a IGP special prosecutor akra sibɔ sɛ ɔpɛ sɛ ɔde yɛ ɔno Paul Adom Ochere abusua awerɛhosɛm na yɛnkɔ ne nkɔtie nsɛm no wia no wakyerɛ wadwe.
Good morning, viewers. I've not woken up, and Facebook, fellow Facebook users, I've not woken up with this early in a very long time. But Kisi Ajaben has brought me here very, very early in the morning because the number of calls I received between yesterday 5 p.m. and 11 p.m. is amazing. I've never got that number of calls. It gives a compelling reason why I have to come here and explain the things that Kisi Ajaben is doing. So this is the beginning of the story. The people saw this on social media. OSP invites Paul Adom Ochere of over GACL contract. He alleges witch hunt. That was an interview I granted Joy and City. And here is OSP orders former Ghana Airport Company Limited Board Chair Paul Adom Ochere to present himself for questioning over corruption probe into a revenue assurance audit deal. Okay, so this is the basis on which everyone was calling me, everybody. And I read social media last night, and this morning I haven't because we just came to do this very early so you can see it. I read social media and some people were very happy that, oh yeah, Paul Adom Ochere, and we pray for them. Many others who called me personally, people I don't know, calling from outside the country, everybody talking about, oh, because you are doing this OSP, what is the matter? What does it entail? What is he talking about? So it's a short story, but if you tell a short story to 25 people, then it becomes long. So I want to put the story out now based on the letter that the OSP wrote, what they are looking for, so we can see it. So let's begin with the letter that the OSP wrote to me. So this is the letter that the OSP wrote to me. It's here. It says that it's on 25th July and it's addressed to me, Paul Adom Ochere, former board chair, Ghana Airport Company. Direction to attend the office of the special prosecutor. It says the Office of the Special Prosecutor, the OSP, has commenced the investigations into suspected corruption and corruption-related offences in respect of the Revenue Assurance Audit Services Agreement between the Ghana Airport Company, GACL, and Evertex Logistics Limited. You are considered a suspect in this investigation. Accordingly, you are directed to report to the Office of the Special Prosecutor located at 6 Haile Selassie Avenue, South Ridge, Accra on Thursday, 31 July at 3 p.m. for an interview. You may be accompanied by legal counsel of your choice. So this is the letter that Kisi wrote, and this afternoon that he said we should appear. So when I got the letter, sometime yesterday or so. They called me, somebody called from the OSP office. But they had called me, I didn't see it, so I called back as I usually do. And then somebody said, I'm from the OSP office. I have been looking for you to give you a letter, and they directed me to the airport. And I said, but what are you doing at the airport? I don't do anything at the airport. I'm not there. I'm in my office at Metro TV at Ridge. So bring it over. So they brought the letter over, and this was the letter. So quickly I sent it to the lawyers that OSPs had invited me, we need to go. And they said, oh, when has he said? They said Thursday. And they said, Thursday we can't. Thursday we are busy. We have Court of Appeal in Kumasi and all that. What about Friday? I said, I don't know whether he can do Friday. And they said, well, the best thing will be Monday. I said, so how do we go about it? They said, okay, let's write to the OSP. So we wrote this letter to the OSP, indicating that we can't come today, but we can come on Monday, 3 o'clock, the same 3 o'clock. This is the letter we wrote. It's as follows. It's written from Akufo-Addo Prempeh & Co., the law firm, the letterhead. It's written to the Director, Asset Recovery and Management Division, Office of the Special Prosecutor, Haile Selassie Avenue. And it's the topic is direction to attend the Office of the Special Prosecutor, Mr. Paul Adomotri. We asked for Paul Adomotri. Your letter reference so and so. We have been notified by our client and received the letter with reference aforementioned, the effect of which invites our clients to your office in respect of investigations into suspected corruption and corruption-related offenses concerning revenue assurance audit service between the Ghana Airport Company and Evertex Logistics. We write to inform you that we shall be unable to attend your office on the requested date of 31st July 2025 at 3 in the afternoon, and hence shall be unavailable to provide our clients with the legal representation so required by law. We consequently request that the meeting be rather fixed for Monday, 4th August 2025 at 3 in the afternoon. We are grateful and apologies for any possible inconvenience. The letter is signed by the lawyer. So we wrote this to the OSP. Now, the OSP, when he sent us the letter, then quickly leaked it to the media. This is what he does all the time. Leak to the media to try and create the impression that you have done something wrong. Oh, this is showboating. Every media must see everything. We didn't leak the letter. The letter came to us. And quickly he leaked it to the media. He didn't tell the media that we had requested. So when I granted an interview to Joy FM, I said that we had requested and then to shift the date. And then they brought this very brutal letter after that. This very, very brutal one on 30th, yesterday. It says as follows. They wrote to Akufo-Addo Prempeh & Co. And it says direction to attend the OSP office. Listen to the language. Reference is made to your letter dated 30th July with reference number so and so, in which you seek to reschedule the suspect's appearance before. Okay. Please be advised that the office cannot, unfortunately, accept the proposed alternative date. The suspect is required to report as directed on 31st July at 3 p.m. at the Office of the Special Prosecutor, located at Haile Selassie, Northridge. While a suspect is entitled to legal representation of their choice, it must be understood that the law firm operates as chambers, comprising multiple lawyers. In circumstances where a particular lawyer is unavailable, any other qualified lawyer from the same firm may represent the suspect without prejudice to his right to counsel. The Office of the Special Prosecutor is discharging a statutory mandate under the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act and does so with the expectation of full cooperation. Failure to appear as directed may amount to obstruction or non-cooperation, and the office reserves the right to take appropriate legal action, including compulsion measures in accordance with the law. For administrative purposes, it will be helpful for all future correspondence to be addressed to the special prosecutor through the undersigned. I don't know who is the undersigned. Who signed the letter? Okay, it doesn't show us who signed the letter. This is the letter that the OSP sent. By the time they were doing the media stuff, this is the letter that they had sent to me, you know. And everybody started calling me that, look, Kisi wants you to come at 3 p.m. on Thursday. He will delay you so that there's no Good Evening Ghana. He will delay you overnight. And this is what he wants to do. And why does he want to do that? Because perhaps he has wind of some PDS petition that is going to him, blah, 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 that we are involved in. That's coming later. Okay, so now let's get to the substance of the letter. So what is the story about? What is the whole brouhaha story about? So in his letter, in the letter of the OSP, he says that, the original letter, he says that he's investigating some revenue assurance, something like that. Okay. In my interviews, I wondered why a board chairman is connected with something that has to do with procurement and all that, because under the Procurement Act, board chairman is not a part of it. The Procurement Act doesn't mention a board chairman anywhere. But anyway, this is Kisi Ajabe and the OSP, so no problem. All right. So he says he's investigating something related to revenue assurance audit service of a contract between some company, Evertex. At the board at the Ghana Airport Company, sometime around 2022, the Ghana Airport Company needed money. I mean, there was not enough money in the system, so they needed money. So the board invited the minister to sort of discuss the fees and charges, whether the minister could go through parliament and increase the fees and charges so that the Ghana Airport Company can make some revenue. The minister said no, he can't. Because of the post-COVID Ukraine war, it's difficult to go and tell Ghanaians to pay more. So the board should find ways of raising more money, especially non-aeronautical. These are documented in terms of the policy to raise money through non-aeronautical. It's documented. What is non-aeronautical? If you buy a ticket, I buy a ticket, the airport company gets some money. That's aeronautical. Non-aeronautical is whether they deal in some land or they give somebody space to sell meat pie, or somebody is doing something, or other things that we can do, especially at the cargo area, see how we can get more revenue. All that is documented. So so we were looking for people who can help us in different ways to raise non-aeronautical revenue for the airport, because we're not going to get the fees and charges, because the government policy is that you can't do fees and charges at this time post Russia-Ukraine war. So somebody contacted the board and said that, look, you guys are losing money at cargo, and I can do it. My company can do it. So we said, okay, come to the board and come and do a presentation, which is very normal, very, very normal. So they came to the board to do a presentation and said that this is what we know and this is how it works. The board told them that, yes, you have told us what it is, but there's no real evidence. You haven't given us any evidence that, in fact, we are losing money. And then they said that to do that, we have to work with your management to come and tell you, because we need access to your systems. When we get access to your systems, then we'll be able to tell you in the things that are the revenue that's happened already. So today is July. They will take last year's revenue and show you that this revenue that you got 1 million cedis, you could have gotten 3 million cedis. This revenue that you have 2 million cedis could have gotten 6 million cedis. So the management gave them that, and then they did that. And then the management brought them to the board the second time and said the people have finished their work, so let the board hear them. So the board heard them. And then they seem to know what they are talking about. They seem to show that, yes, revenue was lost and revenue can be gained. So the board told management that, okay, go ahead, which is also normal. The board tells the management, MD and your people, go ahead and work with them and report back to us. So they did, and they went to work with them. And then we continue our meetings. I had forgotten about it. I don't know anything about it. Then the management comes back that they finished with the people. They brought a proposal. It's a workable proposal, but it looks like the proposal, the people are saying that, well, I left something out. When the people said they wanted to do the audit, the original audit, we told them, and I in particular said it at the board meeting, that we can't pay any money. The Ghana Airport Company cannot pay you any money at all to do this work. You have to find your own money to do the audit and come and convince us that we need the service. So they said, okay, they'll do that. They'll pay their own money. This is also in letters. In letters that they wrote that there will be no financial commitment from the airport company. Till today, there's no financial commitment from the airport company. Absolutely none. So they went to do the audit and came back, as I said. And then we were satisfied that they can do something. So management should continue to work with them. Management came back and said they brought a proposal and they are looking at it. However, what they are asking for in the proposal is that if they are commissioned to do the work, whatever money they gain for the Ghana Airport Company, on top of what we were getting already, they want 20%. So for instance, if they find that in the importation part of frozen food or something like that, airport was getting 1 million, but with their work, we now have 2 million, then there's 1 million that they have added to what the airport was getting, and they want 20% of that 1 million. So this was put before the board by the management, who dealt with them, the MD, who dealt with them on the documents. And then the board said, no, you can't have 20%. MD dropped them to 16%. So it was agreed. And then MD was told that, okay, go ahead and do the things you have to do. Those are due diligence, public procurement, and then get the document done. This was around November. So this is the last thing I heard about that process. Then December came, and then election came. And then soon after election, we were out. By January, we had resigned. All of us had resigned. I didn't know they had signed the contract. Some 10 days ago, Manasseh Azuri called me that he's investigating this matter. And that is, so when the OSP came, then all the lawyers were wondering, why are they working together? Manasseh Azuri is one of the people you've been talking about. Kisi Ajabe is one of the people you've been talking about. They seem to be working together for this, but I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Manasseh Azuri called me and said that what's the Evertex contract? I said, what is that? He said, Evertex, the people doing quality assurance. I said, the people who do the thing SML does. He said, yes. Then I said, I don't know about it. I don't know where it's gone to. Then it was Manasseh Azuri who told me that the contract had been signed by the managing director on 4th of December, 4 days or 3 days to election. And I said, well, okay, I don't know. I didn't know. This conversation is about 2 weeks ago. I didn't know whether the contract has been signed. I didn't find out whether the contract has been signed because it's not necessary. The board has finished its work. Whatever management does, if the management need the board again, they'll come back to the board. If there's a new board, management will come back to the new board and say, the old board did this. This is a problem we have, so resolve it. When the management is doing contracts, they are doing their PPA contracts under the law, they don't come to the board. They only come to the board when the threshold is beyond. So there are many contracts that the management does that the board doesn't know, they are not aware of. We don't have to be aware of it because the management is doing their work. But when they cross a threshold where the MD doesn't have capacity to approve this, then it comes to the board. So the board is merely there for approvals and also to initiate things that concern policy. So this is I didn't know that the contract had been signed. It was Manasseh Azuri who told me that the contract has been signed. Okay, so the contract was signed, and now the Kisi Ajabe and the OSP are calling people at the airport campaign. We've heard all kinds of things, telling them that, did board chairman tell you to do this? Are you sure it's not board chairman who told you to do this? Very bizarre interviews that they've had over this matter. Everybody goes and they tell them, did you know the board chairman? Did the board chairman tell you to do that? And they come out telling their lawyers that, we don't understand. Why are they talking about board chairman? They've had conversations with the managing director. They've had conversations with most of the managers. They've seen the board minutes. Manasseh Azuri has seen the board minutes. Letters that have been written about this issue from the company to the management. It is Manasseh Azuri who tells me. And he sends me texts all the time. Those of you who saw me on YouTube, you heard me say that I've even sent him texts. Manasseh has sent me several questions. I've answered some. I'm still in the process of answering some. But now that the OSP seems to be looking at the same thing, then I'm assuming that perhaps they are working together, which is fine. There's no problem. They need to investigate. But public procurement matters have nothing to do with the board chairman. And I don't have any interest in any of the companies who came there. I don't know who they are. I don't know who is their friend, where they came from. But anyway, the OSP insists that we have to come there today at 3 o'clock. Every lawyer is telling me, look, they want you to come at 3 o'clock and then they will detain you. They may arrest you. They will say, go and bring this. They will say bail. And one lawyer told me that how much is the money involved in that? I said, there's no money involved. There's absolutely no money involved in it. There's no money at all involved. Airport has not paid a single money to anyone. Airport has not lost a single money. And the contract has been signed by the managing director. I asked Manasseh Azuri that, when you saw the contract, did you see my signature? Did I witness? He said, no. I said, but if the managing director has signed the contract, the managing director has signed so many contracts with so many people that the board will not know about because it is within her threshold and that of management to do. So that's why I told CTFM and Joy, this is a pure witch hunt from Kisi Ajabe. But anyway, all I wanted viewers to know is that this is the story. And also Facebook people. So people want to know what happened. Kisi Ajabe says we cannot postpone it. We have to come to his office today. So we are going to his office today to see it, to listen to him and ask him these questions, and he will also ask us questions. Media people who want to cover it, you can come. I don't know whether it's allowed, public hearing is allowed. People have called me, can we come and cover it? What is going to happen? I don't know how they do the OSP work, but I'm going there with my lawyer and then we'll be there to answer the questions. I'll let you know what happens. Everybody's telling me though that Kisi wants to arrest you and keep you there for the weekend to teach you a lesson because you've been talking about him. You have gone to write RTI about him. You said that he has bulletproof cars and all of those things has hurt him. So he wants to come after you. Well, that's up to him. If that's what he uses the state authority for, it's entirely up to him. That's not my problem. I don't mind. I will continue to do my work. And to say anything wrong about whether it is Kisi Ajabe, whether it is X, Y, Z, W, V, we will have to say it. So long as we can provide the evidence for it. If it is his decision that because we have been talking about him, where there's no concern about board chairman, he will call people and ask them that, say that board chairman did this, say that board chairman, we want you to say that board chairman, we want you to say that, all that gamut of information that all the lawyers are telling me about. I don't know, the lawyers are telling me about it, that this is what is happening, because some of those lawyers have gone there with their clients and they tell me that they are saying, what did board chairman do? What did they tell us about this? Is the questions that the OSP wants to know. It's entirely up to you, Kisi Ajabe. It's entirely up to you. So 3 o'clock, we will be there, and hopefully we'll be back, and then we'll report to you what happened. This is what we wanted to do, just to tell you, so that people don't have a blank mind and they don't